Good Tuesday morning. Today is a first alert weather day, and you're seeing exactly why right now. Our camera is shaking atop our studios here in Kennewick. This view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal. We'll get to the wind gust here in just a second, but the wind gusts are helping us out when it comes to temperatures for this morning, as we're mostly in the 40s and 50s for lower elevations, but up in the higher terrain, we're in the 20s and 30s. Now on to the wind gusts, gusting out of the south and west, very strong, upwards of 45 miles per hour right now for White Pass, gusting upwards of 20 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities, but they will get stronger a little bit later this morning. So again, today is a first alert weather day until 4 p.m. for the Cascades in particular. Some of those peak gusts could be out of the south and west between 55 to 70 miles per hour. So some big impacts there. And then you factor it in with some of the snow that we're tracking up in the Cascades for this morning. We could have borderline blizzard-like conditions for some of those passes. Also first alert weather day until 4 p.m. in the Cascades, as new snowfall totals could be between 7 to 11 inches for I-90, US 2, and US Highway 12. And I'll show you what those passes already look like for this morning, and that's coming up a little bit later on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a deadly shooting from 2 nights ago has now been linked to another deadly shooting from a month ago. We have the details on how investigators link them together.
Plus, cameras could be the new way to catch drivers speeding in construction zones. We have a look at the new program that's being implemented by WSP and WashDOT.
Also ahead, federal layoffs have left hundreds here in Washington without a job, but a new Senate bill could help workers get back on track with a new job. We have that story on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Tuesday, February 25th, and we want to start off with some top stories this morning with a follow-up out of Sunnyside. A fatal shooting that happened just Sunday night has now been linked to the fatal shooting of an 18-year-old woman that happened last month.
According to information released by the Sunnyside Police Department, 18-year-old Angel Plasencia Gutierrez died after being shot at the 1300 block of South 13th Street. Authorities say Plasencia Gutierrez can be seen on video talking with two people, and then they pulled out guns and started shooting at one another. Plasencia Gutierrez died at the scene, and the other two people ran, and at last check, they have not been caught.
Now, Plasencia Gutierrez was out on bail after being arrested in the killing of an 18-year-old Isabel Rodriguez of Sunnyside. According to court documents, he was charged with possession of a stolen firearm and also unlawful possession of a firearm. Now, Rodriguez was shot and killed while in her car at the intersection of North Avenue and McLean Alley. Authorities say witnesses identified Plasencia Gutierrez as one of the people involved, and he was arrested after a manhunt later that night, along with 18-year-old Andre Coron of Mabton. Now, Plasencia Gutierrez posted a $5,000 bail and was released. What led up to both of these shootings, though, is still under investigation this morning.
And now to an update on another case. A man who was shot by a Milton Freewater police officer back in September of last year has been sentenced to prison. Daniel Soto Madrigal has been sentenced to just under 5 years for assaulting an officer, resisting arrest, and also for an outstanding felony warrant. On September 24th of last year, Soto Madrigal was shot while resisting arrest in the parking lot of the Gib Allinger Elementary School. He was able to recover, and the officer who was injured during the assault also recovered.
The Washington State Department of Transportation is launching the new Work Zone speed camera program this year, and it all comes after seeing a peak in crashes near construction zones due to speeding. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma reports where this new program will launch and how this will help everyone, including construction workers.
The way this program will work, WashDOT says they will be partnering up with Washington State Patrol and having speed cameras at active WashDOT construction sites.
We need to make sure that people are aware that these occur in active work zones. They're not going to sit in a work zone and take images of or take pictures of vehicles as they go through as there's no work there. Workers have to be present. That's the main thing for this.
Kyle Miller, program manager, says drivers will be able to see their speed before getting to the speed camera.
They see a radar feedback trailer if appropriate. We're planning on trying to put those out there in front of the camera itself so the vehicles know how fast they're going as they enter into the work zone.
Miller says once a driver goes by the speed camera and continues to speed, that's when Washington State Patrol comes in the picture.
But as they go through the work zone, if someone is speeding, image of their vehicle will be taken, and it does work with. We're working with the State Patrol. For the first kind of infraction, you'll get a $0 infraction, and this actual infraction, the State Patrol will review the information and review the images to make sure that yes, indeed, this vehicle is going above the speed.
Miller says the program is geared to slow down traffic near active construction to help improve everyone's safety.
We just want people to slow down in our work zones and just make it safer for everybody that's going through them and who is working within them. We want everybody to come home every night within our work zones.
Miller says after their first warning, drivers caught speeding could then see about a $250 penalty in their mailbox. Monique Ledesma for Apple Valley News Now.
WashDOT says their first camera will be rolled out in Olympia, and then they'll work their way out statewide. 5:06, take a look at your business headlines this morning. Joann Fabrics is now closing all of its stores across the country, despite earlier reports saying it would only be closing half. These closures follow the company's auction sale to a new ownership group, the chain filing for bankruptcy twice during last year. The closure ends a run of more than 80 years in business. Going out of business sales will be held at all Joann stores, and the chain will no longer be accepting returns, and gift cards will only be valid through Friday. And the Hanford Tank Waste Operations Enclosure, which is also known as H2C, has officially taken over a new contract at the Hanford site, the Integrated Tank Disposition Contract. It all comes after a 4-month transition and being awarded the contract a year ago. H2C's mission is to reduce environmental risks while also accelerating the tank waste disposition process. They offered jobs to almost all of their workers from the old contract, and most accepted. The first year of the contract is valued at more than $300 million, and they will offer 18% of the first year's value to small businesses.
Now, lawmakers are considering changes to how petition signatures are verified, requiring more steps to prove someone supports an initiative or referendum. But opponents believe that could have a chilling effect on voters. Murrow News fellow Albert James shows us how top election officials are joining initiative backers in opposition to this proposal.
The citizens of the state value this right to be able to petition to change laws.
Currently, people gathering signatures for petitions have to declare that signers provided true information and weren't paid for their support. Senate Bill 5382 would require gatherers to sign that legal declaration under penalty of a gross misdemeanor. The Secretary of State's office would also be required to match a voter's address to verify that signature. Supporters of the bill say the current process is susceptible to mistakes and opens the door to potential fraud, which can lead people to question the legitimacy of an initiative.
My concern is that the act of gathering signatures without adequate oversight allows for the spread of disinformation while wasting taxpayers' money.
But opponents question why change is needed when the verification system has worked in the past. Brian Haywood, founder of Let's Go Washington, who successfully gathered signatures for 7 initiatives last year, said in a statement the bill effectively kills the initiative process and is, quote, politically motivated to solidify the power of the majority and silence anyone who questions their authority.
I feel that it is more to intimidate signature gatherers such as myself rather than to make any headway.
Democratic Secretary of State Steve Hobbs and Republican predecessor Sam Reed both testified in opposition to the bill, saying there have been no problems with the current signature verification system. They believe the proposed changes are costly and have the potential to disenfranchise voters from getting involved in the lawmaking process.
So all of a sudden this person doesn't right to participate and the system is denied. This is wrong. We're better than that here in the state of Washington. I urge a vote no on this bill.
It's unclear when the bill will be scheduled for a vote out of committee, but it has to be passed by the end of the week to stay alive. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, the Associated Press had requested a temporary lift on the ban the Trump administration put on them earlier this month, and this after the AP continued to use Gulf of Mexico instead of Gulf of America. Now a judge has made a decision, and we have that update coming up in your national news.
And giving you that live look outside this morning. When we come back after the break, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert forecast. It is 10 minutes after 5, and we'll be right back.
It's Markdown Madness now at Mattress Depot USA.
Get slam dunk savings on premium mattress sets.
Like $99 for each piece on any size mattress.
Or $5.99 for a king-size Sealy plush mattress.
Even a queen-size Sealy plush mattress for $3.99.
Beat the buzzer. With crazy prices like this, they won't last long.
Get here before Markdown Madness ends March 31st.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Elevate your lifestyle and embrace your home's full potential with exclusive furnishings and expert interior design you'll find only at Spencer Carlson. Our dedicated team of professional designers will bring your vision to life. Right now, during Lexington's winter sale event, you can enjoy 30% off the upscale designs of upholstery and case goods from Lexington Home Brands. Shop and save on fresh, innovative furnishings from Lexington. Spencer Carlson, unsurpassed furniture and design for life.
All right, everybody. I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus on us and stay a step ahead with Galaxy AI.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers?
Get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with Galaxy AI on us. US Cellular, built for us.
You used to love these shoes, but they aren't you anymore. So why not donate them to your local Goodwill? Proceeds from Goodwill sales fund programs that provide specialized training and support for people with disabilities, helping them develop essential workplace skills, promoting inclusivity and empowerment, job seekers who will one day walk in someone else's shoes, perhaps yours, and proudly share stories about their awesome Goodwill find. When you donate to Goodwill, you'll know the future's in great hands. And shoes. Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
Celebrate Bi-Mart's 70th anniversary during our open house with our latest savings book. Watch for it in your mailbox. During our open house, members and non-members can stop in and save. Bi-Mart, saving the Northwest more since 1955.
New tonight, 2 guest stars.
Thank you for helping. I'm Seth. Whatever.
1 must-watch episode.
This girl, she looked at me. She's in trouble.
New Will Trapped, tonight on ABC.
This newscast sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel. Fun is how we roll.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have several wind advisories and high wind warnings posted for this morning. You can read more about these by downloading the First Alert Weather app. You can get that free on the App Store or on Google Play. And likewise, winter storm warnings in place for not our side of the Cascades, but winter weather advisories in place for our side of the Cascades. You could also read more about this by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app. Okay, on to past conditions. U.S. Highway 2 at Stevens Pass, packed snow. You do need chains or all-wheel drive. It's looking not very friendly up on U.S. 2 for this morning. Then we will take it down to Interstate 90. It's snowy and slushy. Traction tires are advised. And then we'll take it down to U.S. Highway 12 in Yakima County. White Pass, also snowy and slushy. Traction tires advised. I'm thinking those past conditions going to slip downhill as the morning continues on. Here's your day planner for lower elevations. It's definitely going to be a drier day as opposed to yesterday, but it is going to be a windy day. That is going to be the main facet in today's forecast. So for today, highs still about 5 to 10 degrees above average for this time of the year. But yeah, the winds gusting upwards of 50 to 70 miles per hour in our mountain ranges mostly between 30 to 45 miles per hour for lower elevations. And then for tonight, the winds calmer, but not necessarily calm, but our weather overall much calmer. Overnight lows down into the 20s and 30s. And I will time out the exit of the rain and snow, and I'll touch on just how much snow and just how strong these wind gusts could be. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 5:14 in your national headlines this morning. A federal judge has declined to temporarily restore the Associated Press's access to some of President Donald Trump's events, the Oval Office and Air Force One. Now, the AP was seeking a temporary lift of the ban that the Trump administration put on the news organization earlier this month. The ban was to punish the AP over its decision to continue using the term Gulf of Mexico. Trump, as you remember, renamed the body of water Gulf of America in an executive order soon after taking office. Well, just Monday, a U.S. district judge gave a number of reasons for why he decided to deny the request from the AP. One of those, the judge says he wasn't persuaded that the AP was facing irreparable harm as a result of the ban. The judge's decision to deny the request for a temporary restraining order is not the end of the matter. A hearing is scheduled for March 20th on the AP's request for a preliminary injunction. So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, checking back in with our chief meteorologist, Josh Colbreth, letting us know what we can expect for the rest of the week. Giving you that live look outside this morning. You can see just how windy it is as you're waking up at 5:15. The trees are blowing and the camera's shaking a bit too. We'll have all the details on what you can expect in your forecast after the break.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a 24 Bronco Sport 4x4 for just $299 a month for 36 months, plus 2 years free maintenance. Only your local Ford dealer.
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office on Thursday, March 20th at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
What are you up to, Alice?
Well, the nice mechanic asked me to check the pulleys.
Wow, I just realized you can see things we can't. I've always wondered what's in those small windows.
It's marketing.
So that's where they hide out.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including bowling, a ropes course, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
What does dino casting call mean?
That seems bad.
I'll get my resume ready.
At Consumer Reports,
we're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $1,300 off, plus a free thermostat on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
This newscast is sponsored by Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is a first alert weather day, so let's go ahead and get right into it. You can see more snow building up in the Cascades. That's part of, well, it's one of the reasons why we do have a first alert weather day, so let's go ahead. Let's time it all out. So snow is going to be likely in the Cascades for today. Small shower chances in the Kittitas Valley, the Yakima Valley, the lower Columbia Basin, and the Blue Foothills, and some small snow chances in the Blues. But this will persist really throughout the day. And then for tonight, around 6 p.m., that's when snow is going to be ending in the Blues. Snow starting to wrap up in the Cascades, almost completely dry in lower elevations. And then around 10 p.m., that's probably the end of the snow in the Cascades. We'll get to some of those snowfall totals here in just a second, but first, some of the wind gusts that we'll see for today, gusting out of the south and west up until 4 p.m. for today. upwards of maybe 60, 70 miles per hour in the Cascades, upwards of maybe 35 to 50 miles per hour in the Blues, with gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour in Yakima, 45 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities, 35 for Pendleton and Walla Walla. So you combine the snowfall with the winds in the Cascades, could have some borderline blizzard-like conditions for today, especially when you see the amount of snow that maybe we're thinking we could get up in the Cascades from this morning through 10 p.m. tonight, upwards of maybe 5 to 11 inches for Cascade passes. Not much doing at all for Blue Mountain passes. So please, please, please exercise extreme caution if you're going to travel today for Interstate 90, US Highway 2, US Highway 12, or US Highway 97. Okay, our weather finally much calmer for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then it's looking as if our weather does turn a little bit more active this weekend, but this storm system certainly nothing in comparison to this storm system, although the winds could be a bit of a factor again, especially in the Cascades in Kittitas Valley. High staying about 5 to 10 degrees above average for the next 7 days, so we'll continue to keep it pretty comfortable out there in comparison to what we saw just a couple weeks back. Here's a 7-day forecast in the Tri-Cities. Windy and mostly dry today. Dry and mild Wednesday through Friday, then small shower chances this weekend. In Yakima, windy today with a chance of rain, then dry and mild after today. In Ellensburg, breezy today with a chance of showers, dry Wednesday through Friday, then small shower chances this weekend with winds picking up again by Sunday. In Hermiston, windy and mostly dry Tuesday, dry and mild to end the work week, then a small chance of rain Saturday and Sunday. Then in Walla Walla, overcast and windy today, more sunshine for Wednesday through Friday, then small rain chances come back into the picture this weekend. Now you're taking another live windy look at Kennewick, this view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
It is Heart Health Awareness Month. Heart attack symptoms may include chest pain, heartburn, or dizziness. See AppleValleyNewsNow.com for more information.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. Learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Celebrate Bi-Mart's 70th anniversary during our open house with our latest savings book. MD8 Mega Rolls bath tissue is just $4.99. Prilosec 42-count tablets are $3 off. 7-Up brand 12-packs are buy two, get two. Save big on mobile Delvac 15W40 diesel oil. Plus, there's great savings on lawn and garden essentials. You'll see our savings book in your mailbox. During our open house, members and non-members can stop in and save. Bi-Mart, saving the Northwest more since 1955.
If it was my family, I'd want to make sure they get all the information they need to make the best decision. That's why we fully inspect our vehicles and certify everything. With McCurley Certified and Certified Plus, we look at everything from the tires to the maintenance records to recalls to any open campaigns. We make sure the vehicle is completely safe. The only vehicles we sell are ones that are completely inspected. McCurley Certified means your vehicle meets a higher standard.
Find your way home in a Subaru Certified Pre-Owned vehicle from McCurley Subaru.
Plan the ultimate date night at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Find the hottest slots, blockbuster movies, exquisite dining experiences, thrilling entertainment, and fun for the whole family at Quaking Aspen's Lanes. You can bet that Wild Horse has everything you want for a perfect night out in Pendleton. Spark up an unforgettable night with our 30th anniversary fireworks show, then transport back to the 90s during the Throwback Dance Party on March 8th. Visit wildhorseresort.com for more info. Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Celebrate 3 decades of fun.
Individuals, couples, and families, you could get a refund of up to $1,290 back on taxes paid last year, as well as refunds for 2023 and 2022. Learn more at workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
This newscast sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel. Fun is how we roll.
524, welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news this morning, a New York man is suing Kim Kardashian for a social media post that she made a year ago.
So Kardashian posted about convicted murderer Ivan Cantu 2 days before he was executed in Texas, and she was asking her followers to sign a petition to save his life.
The problem is she used a picture of a different man who lives in New York but has the same name.
Yikes.
Okay, you can't do that, Kim.
Her people must have done it, you know?
Kim, come on. So Kardashian's lawyer admitted what happened and says his client removed the photo as soon as she realized her error. Cantu filed a lawsuit Thursday claiming libel, slander, and emotional distress.
And Kardashian's lawyers say they are hoping to settle the case, but they defend her in court if they have to. And Kardashian has spent the past several years studying to become a lawyer herself.
Her father was attorney Robert Kardashian, who gained fame by helping defending O.J. Simpson.
I mean, hey, if you sue them, you can get some money out of it. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know,
yeah, I know, but I just think that if you're going to put something out there,
do your homework.
You have
That's what we're taught every day.
Yeah, do your homework.
I'd settle. I wouldn't take that one to court.
You know better. All right. Hey, we want to talk about the Oscars now. It is award season, and we're learning some well-known performers will be hitting the stage Sunday during the 97th Academy Awards.
So the stars of Wicked, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, are set to sing along with Doja Cat, Lisa of Blackpink, Queen Latifah, and Ray. And also this year, the Oscars will not feature performances by the nominees for Best Song, as the show's producers decided to scrap that idea.
Instead, the musical performances will celebrate the filmmaking community and some of its legends.
I kind of like that.
I'm
Mostly
excited.
because, I mean, Wicked.
We know why. Yeah, for sure. That could be worth being tired the next day to stay up and watch.
I'm going to be asleep, so
I know.
Maybe not. Okay.
All right, hey, speaking of the Oscars, check this out. It's a genuine Oscar.
And the Oscar goes
coffee
to
mug.
There we go.
You like that?
It's kind of, you know, it's like a little,
Yeah,
good
it's
style.
Good style, right? So we have this here to invite you to celebrate the Oscars on ABC and Apple Valley News Now. So here's a quick look at the schedule.
So after a special early edition of the news, red carpet coverage begins at 3:30.
Oh, we might still be awake for that.
Yes, I will try to be. And then with the Oscars starting at 4, and then at 7:30, it's a special American Idol followed at 8 by an encore presentation of the Oscars.
It's Oscar Sunday on ABC and Apple Valley News Now, so plan to spend it with us and celebrate the movies.
Yeah.
Yes, and then be sure to tune in Monday morning for Good Morning Northwest. We'll have a wrap-up of everything.
We'll be talking about, you know, hopefully Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo winning.
Yes,
hopefully.
Wicked sweeping, right?
That's what we're going for.
Exactly.
Yep. All right, 527, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We're talking about those federal worker layoffs and how they have affected the entire country. But looking statewide, it's also left hundreds here without a job for a record amount of people applying now for unemployment.
But now a new Senate bill that's being looked at could help these workers get the help that they need. And we have the details coming up in our next half hour. But first, let's check out your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a change for Gmail. Google is changing the authentication method on its email service, replacing text message codes with passkeys or QR codes. The switch was prompted by problems with scammers using the SMS technology to spoof user accounts. Apple's latest software update reportedly includes a change to CarPlay. It allows for 3 rows of app icons instead of just 2, but that's only for vehicles with larger displays. Apple initially said it would release an all-new version of its CarPlay last year, but a new system has not been announced. And finally, a new way to make your workspace smell amazing. It's a computer mouse with a built-in aroma oil diffuser. The mouse, made by Asus, has a fragrance compartment to add your favorite essential oils. No word yet on the cost, but this is sensational. A must-have. I'm Andrew Dimbert. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your outfit first before meeting your girlfriend's family.
That's a tough one to recover from, Steve. The disappointment on their faces says it all.
Yeah, checking first is smart.
Yeah.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Still congested?
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Mucinex 2-in-1 Saline Nasal Spray.
Spray goodbye.
Mucinex 2-in-1 Saline Nasal Spray. With a gentle mist and innovative power jet, spray goodbye to congestion. It's comeback season.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, 3-degree guarantee. That jackpot's going up incrementally. It's
Yes.
a little low right now.
Yeah, I got 2 in a row. That's a streak.
There it is.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at our 3-degree.
Oscar for that?
Oh, sure. I'll take it. I'm going to let you finish. No, anyway, so yeah, let's take a look at our 3-degree guarantee sponsored by our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. So yesterday I went with the forecast high 56 in Pasco Tri-Cities. It verified at 54. So yeah, that's a streak. It went up to, the jackpot went up to $50, and so the forecast high for today, 57. If it verifies between 54 to 60, the jackpot's going to go up to 75. But if it doesn't, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to AppleValleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now it's on your screen. I want to take care of temperatures real quick as they're in the 40s for the valleys. Also, well, we're actually closer to 50 degrees in the lower Columbia Basin, 40s and 50s in the Blue Foothills as well. Obviously colder, though, up in the higher terrain of the Cascades and Blues where we're in the 30s. And the reason why we're so warm for lower elevations because of the downsloping from these wind gusts. Very strong out of the south and west, gusting upwards of 45 miles per hour right now in the Cascades. More like 20 to 30 miles per hour for lower elevations, but we've heard our building shaking here in Kennewick. So today is a first alert weather day until 4 p.m. for the Cascades, as peak wind gusts could be out of the southwest between 55 to 70 miles per hour. Very serious stuff. And then you factor in some of the snowfall we'll see up in the Cascades. Could have borderline blizzard-like conditions up that way. So also a first alert weather day until 4 p.m. for the Cascades because of the new snowfall, 7 to 11 inches for I-90, US 2, and US Highway 12. And I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's very active forecast, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. Federal layoffs under the Trump administration have left hundreds in Washington state without a job. But Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us a new bill's been introduced to help them get back to work.
5 state senators have teamed up on a bill that would more easily allow federal workers who are unemployed to transition into positions within Washington state. More than 76,000 federal employees work in Washington state, including about 1,900 in Walla Walla County, 1,300 in Yakima County, 680 in Benton County, and 550 in Franklin County.
We're seeing a definite rise in the number of unemployment claims that are being filed by federal workers. Right now, it's approximately about 35% more than this time last year, and we're just seeing a daily increase.
Adding up to more than 650 federal workers filing for unemployment benefits in Washington state so far this year.
Throughout the state, we're actually seeing a rise in layoffs. Some major employers are laying off workers, so there's going to be greater competition for fewer jobs right now.
Between the layoffs and other federal actions, state leaders estimate Bonneville Power Administration is losing 450 to 600 workers. Senator Patty Murray asking Elon Musk on social media to explain why those workers got cut when those cuts won't impact the federal budget.
Those positions at Bonneville Power are actually funded by ratepayers, by all of us who live in the Pacific Northwest. They are not from federal funding. And these are people who literally help us to keep the lights on.
Washington already gives veterans preference in hiring. Senate Bill 5767 would similarly give unemployed federal workers priority consideration for state agencies and advantages in the promotion process. The bill is still in the early stages, but unemployed federal workers can get help figuring out what's next by going to WorkSource Washington. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
5:33, Emily, thanks for that. In continuing coverage this morning on the case of Bryan Kohberger, the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students, some new information has come out from an unsealed transcript of a hearing on whether to suppress genetic genealogy evidence. Now, the defense claimed investigators acted inappropriately when using investigative genetic genealogy to try to isolate a suspect. Now, here are some of those newly revealed details. Only one person's DNA was detected on a knife sheath found at the home where the murders happened. A detective learned Kohberger's name only after the genetic genealogy, more than a month after the killings. And a genetic genealogist expert testified that the FBI admitted they had used a database off limits to law enforcement. Now, prosecutors did not directly respond to that claim during the hearing, and ultimately the judge did not suppress the evidence. Kohberger's trial is expected to begin in August. Prosecutors have said that they will be seeking the death penalty if he's convicted.
Now, it's been 5 years since a 67-year-old Granger woman was shot and killed in her sleep, and the Yakima County Sheriff's Office is looking for any information that could lead to a break in the case. On February 13th of 2020, Carmen Sanchez was asleep in her home on E Street when she was killed in a drive-by shooting. But after 5 years, they have no suspects and no leads.
So we really don't know what happened. We don't know if that particular house was mistaken and shot at, or if it was just a random round that just shot and killed somebody, like a 1 in a million shot.
Now, if you know anything about this case, call the police. And check this out, if you have flown during the winter months, you know how the weather can complicate flight preparation. Snow must be cleared, runways gridded, and planes de-iced. Now, in severe conditions, even refueling equipment can freeze for some airports. Even the lightest flurry causes chaos. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen spoke with an aviation mechanic about how they prepare aircrafts for winter weather.
Aircraft engines like this one are designed to handle extreme hot temperatures, but also handle extremely cold temperatures.
We definitely take the opportunity to prep the airplanes as best we can.
Ian Gobin is an aircraft mechanic at Bergstrom Aircraft in Pasco. He says winter prep involves several key checks.
Clean spark plugs, something that's kind of by the wayside in the automotive world, but we still clean spark plugs. We ensure that the magnetos, which are the ignition source, are timed correctly and functioning correctly, and then we'll do a compression check as well.
With the recent snowfall, the biggest challenge for small planes is getting the engine started. Gobin says it's not the magnetos that cause the main issue in the cold.
In the carburetor, when the air and the fuel mix, you have a super drop in temperature, and if there's enough moisture, it can cause ice to form in the carburetor.
He says aircraft have systems to prevent this from happening. For larger planes, airport crews use de-icer to keep them safe.
They use a glycol solution that's sprayed on between 160 and 180 degrees, and it de-ices the airplane and also creates a barrier, which would be an anti-ice as well, to keep the airplane free while they can get to altitude into that drier air.
At the Tri-Cities Airport, runways are kept clear using specialized plow trucks equipped with brushes to remove snow and ice. The Tri-Cities Airport runway, made of reinforced concrete, also has an added safety feature: a grooved surface. Another way they keep the aircraft warm is to keep them in hangars like this one by bringing in warm air to keep those engines up to performance standards. Reporting in Pasco, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, 5:37 still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Seattle Kraken had games with the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers over the weekend, and it was a tight matchup with the Panthers. Coming up, our Dan Hansen has a breakdown on the battle in this week's edition of the Kraken Game of the Week.
But first, Josh will have what you can expect for your day today as you head out the door this morning. Keep it right here. We'll have all those details when we come back.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
For over 49 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion. We're more than just a flower shop and specialize in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. Our experienced designers are here to help you with all your floral needs, ensuring that every bouquet is as special as the moment it celebrates. Visit us today at our brand new location on Clearwater in Kennewick. We're part of your community and can't wait to help you celebrate life's moments. Shelby's Floral.
They say when you know. That perfect match, the one that feels just right, the one that fits your style, your touch, your soul. At Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos, we believe in love at first note. Whether it's the warmth of an acoustic or the versatility of a digital, the right piano is waiting for you. Play it, feel it, fall for it. Because when the right one comes along, you'll know. Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos. Life's more fun when you know how to play.
I have 2 options for you to take a look at.
When it's time for an update or complete remodel,
Just watch yourself there. So here, guys, we're going to rip everything down to the stud.
Rebath is with you every step of the way, from design and products to removal and installation.
Okay, what do you guys think?
We handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Why buy a mattress from Mattress Depot USA?
Low prices.
Every day, we beat any competitor's price.
Selection?
All sizes and brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic.
Customer service.
Our sleep specialists average 10 years in the industry. Check out our reviews.
Comfort guarantee?
120 nights worth.
Same-day delivery.
Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Local?
Born here, live here.
Come see us today.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Being a cop is stressful. And every case is different. How did you get here before me?
Look, smarter, not harder.
New The Rookie, tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Ruby Frankie, the momfluencer who is convicted of abusing her own children. Now her estranged husband and son speak out.
Do you feel like people didn't actually know what really happened? Do you still love her?
The new interview.
Did you think your mom was a good mom?
This morning on Good Morning America.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is a first alert weather day because it is a big time forecast. We'll have some big time wind gusts up in the Cascades, gusting upwards of 70 miles per hour. Now, some of those will turn out of the north and west and could impact the Kittitas Valley, but those gusts will be more like on the order of 30, 35 miles per hour. Then down in the Kittitas Valley, we'll see winds gusting out of the south and west upwards of 40 miles per hour. Highs in the low 50s. Should see a decent amount of sunshine, especially as we head into the afternoon. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, also very windy. Winds gusting out of the south and west upwards of 45 miles per hour. We'll end up in the mid 50s, about 5 to 10 degrees above average for this time of the year. Then in the Blue Foothills, these winds gusting out of the south and west upwards of 50 miles per hour. Well, in the foothills, it would be more like 35 miles per hour, but up in the Blue Mountains, more like 50 miles per hour. These highs near 50 in the foothills, closer to 40 in the Blue Mountains. Okay, now on to what our snowpack looks like for this time of the year. And when you compare it to what it should look like for this time of the year, we're still running a snowfall deficit in the upper Yakima Basin, but a subtle surplus in the Natchez Basin. And we're running some better surpluses, not really for the Walla Walla Basin, but definitely for the Umatilla Basin. And with more snowfall on the way, specifically up in the Cascades, I'll tell you how much snowfall we're expecting over the next 12-ish hours. And that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
The Kraken Game of the Week, sponsored by Yakima Federal.
Apple Valley News Now is your home to the Seattle Kraken, and the boys battled the Florida Panthers in a tight matchup Saturday night. There was some early scoring, a controversial overturned goal, and a clutch finish in the third period. Our Dan Hansen breaks it all down in the Kraken Game of the Week.
Saturday night at Amerant Bank Arena was a wild ride. The game got off to a fast start when Capo Caco scored with a power play early in the first period at 6:32 on the clock. His shot found just enough space past the Panthers goalie, igniting the arena with excitement. Tensions escalated when Panthers right winger appeared to give the team the lead, only for a video review to overturn the call due to a crease infraction.
After video review, it's been determined that number 17 from Florida enters the crease on his own and interferes with the goaltender. There is no goal.
The turning point came in the third period when Shane Wright made a daring dash into the Panthers zone and set up Adam Larson, who found Jared McCann open on the left wing. McCann's perfectly timed wrist shot broke the deadlock. The final score, 2-1 in favor of the Kraken. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Seattle Kraken travel next to St. Louis to take on the Blues as they seek to gain momentum away from home. You can watch the game right here on Apple Valley News Now tonight with pregame starting at 4:30. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint coming up with everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning. Also giving you that live look outside this morning. This one courtesy of our friends from the Legends Casino and Hotel. You can see the camera shaking. It is a windy and blustery start to your Tuesday. Josh will be back with your full First Alert forecast after the break.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single pop-up burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get two.
The Tuesday Special at A&W.
Spring clean for a cause. With fresh leadership, Tri-County Partners Habitat for Humanity store is ready to make an even bigger impact. Join us and Century 21, Piton Wealth, and PG Long for our Fill a Truck event on March 7th and 8th. Donate furniture, appliances, decor, anything to help furnish a home. And for every donation or purchase, you'll be entered to win a gift basket. Enjoy free fries, fun, and the chance to change lives. Visit the Tri-County Partners Habitat for Humanity store in Richland. Your donation builds homes.
And so what is this? Is this a relationship, a friendship?
This is family.
Okay, so you cousins?
And
damn, you her auntie? Hey, auntie.
Nate Jackson, as seen on MTV's Wildin' Out and Kevin Hart's Heart of the City on Comedy Central. Friday, March 7th, Legends Casino Hotel.
They don't even want to answer no more. They're trying to look away. No, look at me. Ernest goes to camp.
Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or the Legends Gift Shop. Don't miss Nate Jackson, Super Funny World Tour. Friday, March 7th at Legends Casino Hotel in Toppenish.
It's not easy being Mariano Morales' horse. He needs to ride the clients all the time. He does take care of them. He gets the insurance company to pay for medical bills, car repairs, even money for pain and suffering. Looks like it's going to be another busy day. Better get warmed up. After all, I am his best friend.
Hurt in a car wreck? Give me a call.
Big or small, we work them all.
I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
I've always had an eye for opportunity. As a kid, I was hustling, selling candy, mowing lawns, you name it. That drive never left me. The first time I tasted crumble, it was clear to me this was more than just a cookie. From that moment, I knew this was a chance to bring the taste of something new to our neighborhood, but I couldn't do it alone. That's where Happel came in. With their support, I was able to secure the loan that brought Crumble to our community. Where do you, credit union?
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
Young Sheldon, tonight at 11:05 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is a first alert weather day because of snow and winds. We're already seeing snow up in the Cascades for this morning starting to build, and we'll touch on the winds here in just a second. But let's go ahead and step you through today. As snow will be likely in the Cascades, small shower chances in the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, Lower Columbia Basin, and Blue Foothills, small snow chances in the Blues. And really that description is going to persist throughout the day. And then by the time we get to Tuesday night, specifically around 6 p.m., that's when snow is going to be ending in the Blues, snow starting to wrap up in the Cascades and almost completely dry in the lower elevations. Then by 10 p.m., around and after 10 p.m., that's when we're finally going to see the very end of the snow in the Cascades. So that's when we're going to be done with this ordeal. Before we get to snowfall totals, I first wanted to touch on what you're maybe hearing outside of your house right now. That would be the winds gusting out of the south and west. Now, these aren't the current wind gusts, but these are the peak wind gusts we're expecting for today. This runs through 4 p.m. for today. They could gust upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour up in the Cascades, upwards of 35 to 50 miles per hour in the Blues, with gusts upwards of 40, 45 miles per hour in places like Yakima and the Tri-Cities. And you factor in some of the, let's go back to the wind gusts up in the mountains for a second. You factored that in with some of the snowfall we could see in the mountains. We're talking borderline blizzard-like conditions for today for U.S. Highway 12, Interstate 90, and for U.S. Highway 2. Could have between 7 to 11 inches of snow for Cascade passes, probably less than an inch if, well, maybe we could get upwards of an inch for Tollgate, but that would be about it. And again, that runs through 10 p.m. for tonight. In general, our weather is going to be much calmer for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Really, even into this weekend, we're going to see a storm system that could provide some strong wind gusts once again to the Cascades and Kittitas Valley. But in terms of the rainfall and snowfall we're expecting from this one, it's not going to hold a candle to some of our previous storm systems. And high temperatures will remain about 5 to 10 degrees above average over the next 7 days. So we'll continue to keep it pretty mild out there. Here's the 7-day forecast in the Tri-Cities. Windy and mostly dry today, dry and mild Wednesday through Friday, then small shower chances this weekend. In Yakima, windy today with a chance of rain, and then dry and mild after today. In Ellensburg, breezy today with a chance of showers, dry Wednesday through Friday, then small shower chances this weekend with winds picking up again by Sunday. In Hermiston, windy and mostly dry Tuesday, dry and mild to end the work week, then a small chance of rain Saturday and Sunday. Then in Walla Walla, overcast and windy today, more sunshine for Wednesday through Friday, and then small rain chances come back into the picture this weekend.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:50, time for your morning sprint with the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Cameras are going to be used to catch drivers speeding through construction zones. WashDOT is partnering with WSP to launch their new Work Zone Speed Camera program. It's all going to take place this year. These cameras are going to be set up at active construction sites. Drivers will be notified of the camera and their speed before they pass. If they catch you speeding, the camera will send a photo to WSP. WSP will review that and then send out an infraction. On the first one, drivers will just get a warning, but after that, they could see a $250 fine.
And it's been 5 years since 67-year-old Carmen Sanchez was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting while she was asleep in her home. And the Yakima County Sheriff's Office still have no suspects and no leads. They're looking for any information that could lead to a break in the case. If you know anything about this, call police.
And Jo-Ann Fabric is closing all of its stores across the country, despite early reports saying it would only be closing half. The chain filed for bankruptcy twice during the last year. Going out of business, sales will be held at all Jo-Ann stores. The chain will no longer be accepting returns, and gift cards will only be valid through Friday.
The Richland Parks and Rec Commission is announcing they are distributing up to $40,000 this year from the Park Reserve Fund. These funds are available for eligible applicants interested in making improvements to city parks, trails, open space, or recreational facilities. Basically, any way to improve the park for the entire community. Head to our website to learn more about that.
And Yakima Valley College is hosting a diversity series starting today on the Yakima campus. The event is free and open to the public. It'll showcase a variety of cultures. Presentations will focus on Native American, Filipino, and Latinx communities. Also, applications for the 2025 Academic Scholarship are now open for future YVC students. That's a total of 19 scholarships in the amount of $2,500. Friday, the 28th of February is the deadline to apply for those.
Now in your national headlines this morning, we're now past the deadline for federal workers to send an email detailing what they accomplished last week. But Elon Musk says workers have another chance to submit answers. However, he posted to X, quote, "Failure to respond a second time will result in termination." The post comes just hours after the Office of Personnel Management said responding was voluntary, and that's the office that originally sent the email. Several federal agencies have also said they don't want their employees to answer.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth will head to Guantanamo Bay today for a briefing on mission operations. The update will include the ongoing operation to transfer migrants to the naval base in Cuba. Last week, more than 170 migrants at Guantanamo Bay were flown back to Venezuela. Yesterday, there were nearly 20 migrants at the detention facility. But we have heard a pause on the operation has been put into place as the Trump administration has halted efforts to place migrants in tent structures that were built at Guantanamo Bay.
In your business news, some national parks are cutting back on services after layoffs of probationary employees. Several have canceled tours altogether, while others are cutting back on hours. The cuts are part of the Trump administration's efforts to curb federal spending.
The U.S. egg shortage has led businesses to look for supply beyond our borders. According to the American Farm Bureau Federation, Turkey is the only country that the U.S. imports eggs from. 420 million eggs from Turkey are set to be imported this year, which is the most ever, but experts are saying it won't make a dent in the egg shortage, especially if bird flu continues at the current pace. Now, stats show that the price of a dozen large grade A eggs recently hit an average of just under $5, and prices are expected to rise another 20% this year.
In your health headlines, the Vatican announces that Pope Francis's condition has improved slightly. They say although blood tests showed mild signs of kidney failure, it's not a cause for concern. The pontiff resumed some work yesterday afternoon from the hospital, and Francis has now been hospitalized since February 14th when he was admitted for respiratory issues.
Now, the new standards for labeling a food healthy have been pushed back. Late last year, the FDA updated the nutritional requirements for a product to be described as healthy on its packaging. The update was scheduled to go into effect today, but last month, President Trump issued a pause on the new rules. As a result, the FDA says the new rule will start on April 28th. The new requirements include a limit on added sugars and sodium. Food companies have until 2028 to update their products if they want to use the healthy label. All right, 5:55, trending this morning. The first one resulted in prison time for the founder, but the Fyre Festival 2 looks like it's going to happen.
Oh boy.
We'll see.
In a news release posted to social media, founder Billy McFarland says Fyre Festival 2 is set to be held in Mexico between May 30th and June 2nd. Oh goodness.
I know 3 people who aren't going to be in attendance. Let's just put it that way. Well, there are promises for world-class accommodations and intimate beachside performances, although there are no details on who might perform. That's a red flag right there.
Yeah, right? So the original Fyre Festival in 2017 was heavily promoted on social media by influencers and celebrities, but it turned out to be a complete disaster.
So attendees paid thousands of dollars for tickets, but what they found was mass disorganization, shoddy tents for lodging, and the now infamous limp cheese sandwiches that were falling apart. So many of the musicians who were expected to perform, like Blink-182, ended up backing out of the festival prior to its start.
In 2018, McFarland was sentenced to 6 years in prison after pleading guilty to fraud charges, and he was released in 2022.
He's back at it again.
Something up there is just not, you know.
Do we not learn our lessons?
Right.
You know,
you would think. I mean, he went to prison for it, for crying out loud.
I feel like people would go just to see what, how crazy it would be. You know,
You're
like
right.
what's going to happen. Like FEMA tents, some cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole documentary about it. It was a nightmare for people.
Oh, hilarious though.
Yeah.
I feel like
some parts, not the people who didn't get paid.
No,
that
that's
was
not
sad,
funny.
yeah.
And I feel like it's like the same market of people who buy a house if there was a murder in it, you know? It's like this kind of the same principle. Like maybe
an allure.
Maybe they just want to see the hijinks or
I
something.
kind of want to see what would happen.
Oh, we'll see what will happen, I'm sure.
We're going to get a whole other documentary about it. Maybe. We'll see.
Hopefully no prison time for anyone this go around.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right, 5:57. So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. The Chihuahua girls basketball team securing a spot in this year's state tournament. Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, we get to hear from 2 of their senior captains.
Plus a glimpse at the upcoming Academy Awards, and we have who's set to perform. And Josh, what are you tracking for us?
A lot of strong wind gusts this morning. You can see our Columbia Point camera shaking, and in fact, all of our cameras shaking this morning. I'll tell you just how strong some of those wind gusts could be. I'll tell you how much snow we're expecting up in the Cascades, and that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.